Good morning. Let's make an Adobe floor. This is 4 inches of gravel base compacted. It's the very bottom. Of course, each layer should be level. Now installing an 8mm polypropylene vapor barrier. It prevents moisture from the ground coming up into your floor. Now I'm going to put a 4-inch layer of pumice stone as insulation for the floor. Again, compact each layer flat and tight. Measure level in both directions, nice and even. This next layer is 3 inches of road base. It's rocky and sandy and soily. It's the first stable earth subfloor for our finished product. And again, tamp, tight and even, measure and level. So now I'm going to add an experimental subfloor, 2 inches of concrete sand. And the theory is just the mix is finer than road base, so it would compact and be more level over a longer span. But it worked out okay. I just had more material and height in the box to accommodate a test. So before I do the final mix, I'm going to make 2 tests. I want to figure out a nice consistency. Before I do that, I sift the clay soil, because look at the bag, it's rocky and clumpy and not good for floors. It's beautiful clay soil. There's the aftermath, the sifted clay and the lumpy clay. Here I also sifted the sand. I'm only going to use the sand on the left for the mix. I don't want to step on the rocks on the right. I'm going to mix 2 tests. The first is 1 clay part to 2 sand parts. Yeah, so right there, that's what my dry mix looks like. Kind of even, kind of beautiful. Add some water to taste. Mix it up by hand. Here's the splat test. Yep, let it fall. It looks good. It's about halfway splat. Looks good. These are the 2 Adobe test mix. That one on the right is 2 parts sand to 1 part clay, water to taste. The mix on the left is 1 part clay to 1 part sand and about half as much water. Okay, soil tests, splat. That sample was really sticky and hard to work with. Not great. That sample, not so sticky, much better to work with. So too much water or just too much clay in the second mix. A little metal on there. The first mix feels much better. That's so sticky right there. That's not good. First mix is squeegee approved. Continuing with a 1.5 inch thick Adobe floor mix. 2 parts sand, 1 part clay, water to taste. I should note I'm not using any fiber to bind it together. There's my DIY scree at home. I should have made it to width, but that's just me being clever at home. And this will be the finished floor. This is what you will walk on at home. And the material's working okay. Smoothing it out in the sun. And I had a lot of fun working with the mud. So after a day, it has shrunk. So probably too much water, not enough sand, but overall looks okay. So I'm reasonably happy with the product now. I want to fill in and cover up those cracks. So I've got more material for a finish layer. I'm going to make a new mix, try and make it even smoother. Here we go. So for the final mix, I used 1 part clay to 1 part sand. Even though it was sticky, I thought the finish it would be more smooth and more ceramic. That didn't work out. Oh, there's my full width scree, so that's a good improvement. But the mix was just too sticky and didn't look nice. It was a pain in the butt to squeege. I need to buy a better trowel, of course. Here's the results of that layer. Hardened, it's cracked, uneven. It's bad. So I did a 3rd layer with the remaining material. Much better, 2 parts sand, 1 part clay. Evened it out, it's hardened, and looks a lot better. So another day later, my 3rd and final layer is hardened, looks pretty decent, and I'm getting ready to finish it with oiled linseed oil, thinned with some citrus thinner. So it's 80% oil, 20% thinner, and we're gonna put it on in real thin coats. Waited about an hour between each coat. This is 4 coats, and I'm kind of finished with the project. Check it out.